thank you so much for being here. And let me from the onset apologize to you, your family, and your staff for the sickening, breathtakingly xenophobic political theater that has occurred at this hearing.
I'm sorry that so much of this hearing has been wasted with political grandstanding and disinformation.
And so my question to you, Mr. Secretary, are you testifying as you sit here today that the southwest border is secure?
Yes, I am, and we are continuing to work to make it more secure. Yet, we have effectively managed an unprecedented number of non-citizens seeking to enter the United States.
The little girl here with a brand on her arm, a little girl with a brand on her arm because of your policies.
It's just a disaster that is just looking not just to hurt the United States, but people all across the world. I mean, like I said, the cartels, they're making a killing off human trafficking, and they're making over $15 million a day in that alone. Not just that, but also the effects of narcotics trafficking, which right now, fentanyl is one of the biggest killers in Americans right now. And a lot of that is being sent by the cartels through our southern border. And they're getting the ingredients for that from China. And like I said, all these sectors in the southern border, they're seeing massive amounts of narcotic trafficking, such as fentanyl.
Absolutely, and a lot of people don't know this, that the reason why we say it comes from China is because the Mexicans or the cartels, the Sinaloa cartel, they have their fentanyl ops in Mexico, and they're actually bringing in some Chinese chemists to teach them how to cook the fentanyl, and that gets pushed over into the United States, and here we are with the crisis right now.
A little girl here in the desert found by ranchers trying to save their life. And how about the lost voices for people dying from fentanyl? The hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of Americans dying from fentanyl. Faces of Americans across this country dying because of fentanyl pouring into our country.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
You know full well.
Time of the gentleman has expired, Ms.
Encouraging people to come here, harming Texas and harming this country. You know it. And you're ignoring the
time of
truth.
the gentleman has expired. He no longer has time to slander the secretary. Ms. Scanlon.
Not slander. You know what slander is?
Thank you, Secretary Mayorkas.
Ms. Scanlon. Ms. Scanlon.
Thank you, Secretary Mayorkas.
Would you look at that? You see the left in the room saying, oh, it's misinformation that the southern border is open. It's disinformation that there are millions of people flooding the United States of America. It's all mis and disinformation that there's a literal invasion taking place at the United States southern border. And then Congressman Chip Roy steps up, speaks the truth, talks about the fentanyl crisis, talks about the millions of people coming into this country illegally. And the left comes out and does what? Tells him to shut up and that he's slandering Mayorkas because none of that's true. No, no, no. Shut down the truth, Speaker. Let our narrative go forward because that is what we want millions of people to believe. That is what we want in the minds of millions of Americans. We don't want them to understand the horrific conditions at the southern border and the millions of illegals pouring into this country unvetted with major criminal records on a daily basis. No. That's not what they want in your mind. They want their narrative in their mind that everything is all good. Well, let's fact check Mayorkas. Let's fact check the left saying that this isn't a problem. Joining me now is Rebel News reporter Juan Mendoza. He has been on the ground at the southern border in Texas, documenting the crisis, not just these past couple months, but for a while now. Juan, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Drew.
Awesome, man. Well, let's get straight into this, Juan. I mean, we have the far left. We have these congresswomen, congressmen on the left coming out in the middle of this hearing saying that, oh, it's misinformation, it's disinformation. Mayorkas is coming out saying, we have it all under control. It's all under control, and we're doing a good job. Juan, is that true based off of what you've been seeing and hearing on the ground?
Well, all my reporting has proven that what Mayorkas has been saying, that they've had the border under control and that they're making a humane approach for the immigration, it's all false. I mean, the fiscal year for 2022 is already seeing record highs, and it's looking to surpass the amount of illegal encounters that CBP has encountered from 2021's fiscal year, which was already a record high. And it's just not, it's a concern for not just the people that live here in the United States, but it's also a concern for the migrants, the cartels. They're profiting off of human trafficking and this whole crisis that was created by the Biden administration, because, I mean, they see these people as just a commodity. Many women get raped. They'll be extorted. They'll be put in the stash house while they threaten the families to get more money or else they'll kill them or they'll be turned into essentially slaves in the United States. So the Biden administration, his policies that he's caused with this whole border crisis, it's just been empowering the cartels, not just in Latin America, but in the United States as well.
Absolutely, Juan. You have really great footage all over Twitter reporting for Rebel News. Here is actually an interview that you conducted with Congressman Chip Roy. Here it is. Take a look, guys.
The first thing is that this entire sector, Del Rio sector, is overrun, and they're outmanned. The cartels have all the money, they've got all the power, and we've got more resources down the Rio Grande Valley. So the numbers there now, they're getting hammered here. We can see, and part of the thing of learning is the fencing and the barriers that Governor Abbott has put up, the razor wire. Going up and down the river, I saw a group of about 50 or 100 coming up. I didn't learn anything like specifically that I didn't already know, and from that standpoint, but when you come down and you feel it and you see it and you see people coming across and you see where unfortunately a National Guardsman lost his life, when you talk to Border Patrol agents again, I come down here mainly to make sure they know I'm never going to stop.
He's never going to stop. And we need to continue to expose these people, Juan. I mean, he's not lying. The cartels are active at the southern border. People are being actively human smuggled on a daily basis by the hour. And these are the things that you've been reporting on as well. What do you see? What do you foresee, Juan, coming up? I mean, they're saying that Title 42 is kind of stalled in the courts right now. But are you hearing anything from the Mexican side of the border? Are those that are kind of being staged getting ready to just flood the border anyways? What are you hearing on the ground?
Well, recently, me, Julio Rosas, and Jorge Ventura, we were recently there as well in Eagle Pass, and we managed to speak with many of the migrants that were waiting in Piedras Negras, which is the Mexican town across from Eagle Pass. And they're all saying that they're waiting for Title 42 to pass. And I mean, I've been talking with Border Patrol units that they're worried about the increase. I mean, they're seeing massive increases already. And with Title 42 gone, that's just going to explode. I've been talking with NGOs that are also concerned of being overwhelmed because of these massive influx of migrants and just being overwhelmed with supplies and manpower to be able to process or take care of these people. And it's just a disaster that is just looking not just to hurt the United States, but people all across the world. I mean, like I said, the cartels, they're making a killing off human trafficking, and they're making over $15 million a day in that alone. Not just that, but also the effects of narcotics trafficking, which right now, fentanyl is one of the biggest killers in Americans right now. And a lot of that is being sent by the cartels through our southern border, and they're getting the ingredients for that from China. And like I said, all these sectors in the southern border, they're seeing massive amounts of narcotics trafficking, such as fentanyl.
Absolutely, and a lot of people don't know this, that the reason why we say it comes from China is because the Mexicans or the cartels, the Sinaloa cartel, they have their fentanyl ops in Mexico, and they're actually bringing in some Chinese chemists to teach them how to cook the fentanyl, and that gets pushed over into the United States, and here we are with the crisis right now.
If you would like to donate to help us fund these trips to get accurate reporting of the U.S. southern border crisis, please donate to rebelborderreports.com.